My special guest today is one of the funniest comedians in the world. She has been duly noted as one of the funniest females in the game by LA Magazine. You have seen her on shows like Barat and movies like Miracle on 120th Street, A Star is Born. My name is Dolomite. Dolomite is my name. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. The list goes on and on. And just another note, she's on a new series on HBO. It's an Emmy award-winning series, Hacks. Can I introduce to the game, to my people that's listening, the one and only Luenell?
Oh my God. Hi, Bill.
How did you do all that? Damn, it took me about 13 hours to do your intro.
Yes, and you barely scratched the surface, but it's okay. No, I just got a really good team after, couple of switch-ins and outs.
Yes.
I just got a really good team that knows me and sends me on auditions that we think I could get.
Absolutely.
You get more no's than yeses, of course, but I get a fair amount of yeses. And I dare say it's not for my tremendous acting ability, but people just like to be around me, and I bring a light to the set. I'm not one of them whiny ass actors that after like in their 13th hour, as if you thought a day was 8 hours in showbiz. Anyway, bitch. After 13 hours, they're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm ready to go home. Okay, so didn't you pray to be here? Didn't you pray for this?
Didn't you ask for
and
this?
And the home you're in, didn't this get that? So shut the fuck up. I can't stand a whiny ass actor. So I'm always happy to be on the set, and even if I don't know my lines, they let me get away with stuff as long as I hit the beats, and
but you have the feeling. And this is one of the things that I was thinking about last night when I knew you were going to come in. I want to say to you that it's been a long time coming that you receive your flowers, because I feel like, Luenell, you have always been grinding. Like, you've been right there. You've always been good. You got better. And then all of a sudden, something happened. I don't know if you got a new man. I don't know if you... No, you
that ain't it. That's
but
good for some material, though.
But you turned the corner for yourself and the game, and I feel like your light is on, and I feel your energy. It feels good to see you win.
Well, thank you. And I'm still, I literally kicked and clawed and scratched my way to wherever this is that I'm at, And it wasn't easy because we didn't have no social media, nothing like that. All we had was, that bitch funny, you should go see her. Right. And that was it. That's how and then I was in Oakland, and I was popular there before I even got here. The two first movies I made was in San Francisco. So I made an axe murderer, Mike Myers film before any of the Austin Powers, and The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. I did them before I even came to LA, so I had already done a lot before I even came to LA.
That's awesome.
So, yep, and I was very popular because I was on TV doing this in Oakland, California, on a Black-owned and operated network called the Soul Beat Television Network. And then whenever the comics would come to Oakland to do the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition, they would come through my television station, and I would interview them. So that's why when I came to LA, I already knew everybody when I got here.
Wow.
But I still had to, go through the steps, And I think that there's beauty in the struggle. If you can just, yes, we're jealous. I'm jealous that a motherfucker can, because of likes on a phone, can get enough money to buy a house their second year in the game. Yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah, that's a new part of the game.
I have to let it go because that's just the way it is now.
Yeah.
But they'll never know what it is to do road trip from, from LA to fucking Chicago.
Yeah,
they'll
and grind and stay in hotels that ain't nobody should stay in.
4 to a room.
4 to a room. I remember my first roommate ever was Adele Givens. I never had a roommate. And we did a show. Me and Adele always laugh about this, because I was like, where you going? And she was like, this room. I was like, they put us in the same room? Oh. It was so crazy. It was like a little condo thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing Miami Nights.
Okay.
And Adele was my first. I never, ever had a roommate for a weekend to do a show. And we always laugh about it. And she was like, Bill, you ain't even try to get no booty. No, because we
that
were
was
like,
always disappointing. Yeah.
No, but we were just brother and sister the whole time. But at the same thing, I feel like you have paved the way for females, and they don't even know it. Like, I think that you've shown that talent, grit, and stick-to-itiveness.
And sacrifice.
And you raise your daughter while you grinding. Like, what was that path like for you?
Well, I thought that it was fine. My daughter has a father, Dana Garrett. He was a comedian when we met.
Okay.
And that's why it was a big deal in Oakland when we smashed and had a baby, because the two comics done made a baby. Like, that don't always happen, because number one rule is don't fuck a comic.
Right.
I fucked one and had a baby, so see what I'm saying? But anyway, so when I left Oakland to come to LA, I was able to leave my daughter with her father and his mom and his sister and brother.
Okay.
And so she was with her father's side of the family. I didn't see nothing fucking wrong with that. It's not like I left her with a cousin or grandma, the way we used to get raised by your grandmother and stuff like that. This is damn daddy. So I went to LA. I married. We was grinding, sleeping in the car, sleeping in the daddy house, and all that stuff. But I finally, got enough money to get a studio apartment. My daughter would come visit me. Then I'd take her back to Oakland. Then when I got my house, I went and got her, and she came out, and she's been in LA ever since, going back and forth whenever she wants to. But the issue was, we did Iyanla Fix My Life for a free trip to Atlanta. We was like, yeah, let's go do this. We thought this was going to be a big joke. We're going to fuck with Iyanla business. And we got there, and then I found out there had been issues, that I missed as a mom being on the road.
Wow.
When she had to ride the bus to school, we was in South Central. The shit she's seen on the bus, the things that she's experienced. I never knew nothing about that. Didn't even cross my mind.
Whoa.
Didn't even think about it till we did Iyanla. And so I do realize that me not being there as a mother 24/7 for my child was a sacrifice, and did do, had some residual damage.
Absolutely.
However,
You still had to get that
on
bread.
the other hand, she wouldn't look as good as she do. She wouldn't live as well as she does. Neither would I. And none of this shit was happening without that sacrifice. And that's what I'm saying. What do you want? Do you want to make your kid happy? Or do you want to make your kid be able to live a quality life?
Yeah.
And it does. And when it's the mother, you catch more flack. Daddies, unfortunately, through society, have been programmed and fell into the trap of not being around, and everybody got used to that. But when mommy's not around, it's a struggle. It's a thing.
I mean, it's a struggle for me, raising two kids and having a successful career. And and before I had children, I was married to the game.
Yeah.
Before I got married, had kids, I was just
killing the game.
And killing.
You have to be married to it to kill it like that. Yeah, everything else is secondary, period.
Yeah, it was really a difficult a change for me, because I was just getting my jobs. Some jobs would take me 3 months. I'll be out of the country 4 months. I'd be over here 2 weeks.
What did you shoot out of the country?
I shot 2 films. I shot a movie called Never Was. And I shot another movie called, what was it called? Kindergarten Copper 2 or something? And I was out of the country, and I couldn't come back and forth.
Bill, did you say I sucked that water bottle?
Yeah, that was really interesting. I was going to say that, but I know.
I was wondering, was you going to get distracted, but you kept your focus. Bravo.
I was trying to stay focused.
Bravo.
But that bottle was happy. But anyway.
It was collapsing in my mouth.
But I had to experience, several versions of that where I had to say no to certain gigs and try to, okay, well, my daughter, I'm not missing, daddy-daughter dance. I'm not missing that. That's not going to happen. Or there's certain things with my son that I just was like, well, that month or that week or those 2 weeks, I can't do it because I can't get that time back.
I didn't do a lot of that.
You was like, I'm going to get this bread.
I mean, no, my daughter had a fabulous, let me tell you what I rented out. I rented out Maverick's flat for my daughter's graduation party. The club.
The whole club.
Entire. She had a red carpet. She had a photographer. We had massage guys there, manly hands for her women's feet got tired. We had a DJ. We had a chef. We had food and everything. Her father was there. Her auntie was there, but I wasn't there. Laura was there, but I wasn't there.
Because you had a gig.
Because I had a gig. And I don't want to say she held it against me, but...
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, because it's like... The thing about being a parent in the game is it's sort of like a catch-22 because your family definitely wants you to be successful. Trust me, they want you to be successful.
Yeah.
But they don't always understand the call of duty though.
They don't understand it until the streets start making noise. Like, I was already doing comedy, but until people started calling my brother, I seen no sister on TV last night. And they were calling my sister and them and telling them, they was like, for real?
Right.
Like, yes, motherfucker, I told you that was coming on TV tomorrow night. You didn't believe me.
Right.
And stuff like that. And here's the other thing. If you're going to sacrifice like that, and if you're going to grind like that, be talented enough to where that shit's gonna pay off.
Yes.
Don't be a fucking hack and you out here missing your kid's shit and all that shit and you ain't going nowhere and
you ain't doing nothing with
You're
it.
gonna be a local motherfucker for the rest of your life. Make sure that you make some noise. If you gotta do this and miss being with the kids, you better be successful.
Absolutely. And you are, Luenell. I mean, I feel like you have done it old school where, now we have the, social media opportunities for people. You have Katz that can do skits and do kind of things and got 1 billion followers and like you said, can get on. You came up like I did where we were in the club and we had to have 10 minutes sometimes, 5 minutes. Then we turn around and we got 20. And we was like, if I get 20, I want to be on a big show. I'm
It's
tired
that
of doing
20.
clubs.
It's that 20.
And then we got from doing the small little club hole in the wall to doing the Barclays Center. I did the Barclays with you. I seen you out there. I seen you out there doing your thing. I was so proud of you. I'm like, look at my boo-boo.
And most recently, the Hollywood Bowl with Dave Chappelle.
Come on, man.
Like, who even thinks, you don't even, when they say God can dream bigger dreams than you can dream for yourself. Well, I've been to the bowl to see Earth, Wind & Fire.
Right.
I've been to the bowl to see Stevie.
Exactly.
I've been to the bowl to see Anita Baker. I ain't been there to see no motherfucking comedy. So I never even thought in my wildest dreams to dream about being at the bowl.
Look now, what is wrong with you?
What they do?
You at the table now. It's over. Stop. You at the table. You here. You at the table.
Yo, before we came on the air, Bill and I were reminiscing. And I said, I told him, I fought and scratched and clawed for this relationship. Because Bill was motherfucking doing America's Got...
I was doing Who's Got Jokes and I did Last Comic Standing.
All that. He was doing all that. He was the big shit. Like you be in a fucking improv and, Bill walked through the fucking hallways, the seas parted, because here come fucking beautiful ass Bill Bellamy. He's like a guy like this motherfucker right here. And then every time he was playing love interest in movies and shit, you're like, nigga's beautiful. Look at those lips. You do all that shit. And then he get on stage and he killing like, oh my God, he's everything. And I used to try to talk to him.
You was trying to get my number. You didn't tell me that.
I know. I was trying to.
Well, you trying to holler at me. You were trying to holler at me. Stop playing.
Fool.
You could tell the truth.
Okay, now I would holler at you. But the kids is grown and shit. But,
so stupid.
But, no, I was trying to get your attention. I wanted to be on Who's Got Jokes, maybe. Or one of them. I wanted to be on one audition. And then I did, I think, and then I didn't make it or whatever. And I was just, you and D-Ray are taller than me.
Yes.
And so he did it too. They used to talk over me to the guy
Do people
on
know
the
how
other side of me.
You know how little you are?
I'm very little.
And then when you in the comedy club, you always hit me right here by my elbow. So I always think it's a kid. And you be like, Bell, it's Luenell.
I know, hi, Bill.
Luenell, hi, Bell. I remember like one night I was at the improv. You was like, how long you gonna act like you don't see me?
Yes, I did. And it's sort of like shocked you. Like,
I was like, what? You was like, because I've been standing here, you talking over me. And that's the beauty of it. You always check me. Like no matter what I'm doing, if I'm somewhere, if you and I was at an Oscar party and I didn't speak to you, I'm going to she would be like, now you better get it together. If you ain't drunk, you better clean up. Bro.
And I like you drunk, by the way.
Right, you do?
But, yeah, I just wanted somebody to see me.
Yes.
See me.
I do see you and acknowledge you.
And Daniel Dugard said something one time that stuck with me all my life. He said, Luenell, they never see you coming. They don't see me coming. I come in the club, I be assuming my, little position. I don't be running around, see me. Then I just go up there and destroy shit,
Yo,
and then I just walk away.
Let me tell you what I seen one night, and I know you're not gonna remember this, and this is when I was like, you know what? I am literally baptized in the Luenell radiant fire.
What?
We were at Maverick Flats, which is AKA used to be the Comedy Theater back in the day, right?
No. Maverick's Flat is on Crenshaw. The Comedy Act Theater was on 43rd off of Crenshaw in Leimert Park.
So one night, for whatever reason, you and we're doing a fundraiser for somebody, and I go on stage, destroy. Like to the point of like on some King Kong stuff. Right? And I said to myself, as I'm walking off, I'm saying, why they put Luenell on behind me? That's ridiculous, because I don't know if she's going to be able to handle this. Let me tell you how she did this, bruh. This woman said, y'all gonna get your little, because I ain't doing all that, and sat down and went ham for 30 to 40 minutes of nonstop bangers. I mean, and I stood there and watched you stood these people up. Most people can't follow me, I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's when I say, my baby bad. My baby bad. Do you know the feeling I'm talking about? It's like when you perform and you have those kind of sets, or you have those kind of
drop the mic night.
It's a drop the mic night, and you are capable of that, and you have your own lane. You don't sound like nobody else.
Right.
You ain't trying to be nobody else.
Right.
It's a real chick with swag though. You do it with swagger. You know what I'm saying? And another question I have for you, as far as the game is, it's like with women, I feel like we just don't have enough girls that want to be comedians.
No, we have plenty of girls comedians. We just don't have enough great ones.
Oh.
See, there's a lot of good ones around.
Okay.
And if you want to be good, that's fine. My goal was to be great, though.
Okay.
And it wasn't to be the greatest. I just wanted to be great. I wanted to play the same game the boys do. I don't want she's a girl, I gotta put her on her. I didn't want that shit. I wanted to be able to, you fuck some shit up, watch me fuck some shit up too. You did that, yeah, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared either, and I'm not scared of you, and I'm not scared of them. And this is just because I don't know how to write a joke. All I can do is tell what's happened to me on any daily
But that's
basis.
what's funny though.
On any motherfucking day, I can tell you some shit that's like an hour-long HBO fucking special. Because shit happens to me,
Right.
So I just think that some kind of way my personality hit the zeitgeist of human, regular black folk and white and Latino.
Yes.
Because I don't just perform in front of black folks. That's another mistake that black comics make. If you're out of Georgia, or if you're out of the Bronx, or you're out of wherever, you can't just do that forever. If you're a comic, your job, no matter who the fuck it is tomorrow night from 8 to 9 o'clock, be funny, go. It don't matter if you're in front of the Jewish Coalition, the fucking Scientologists, the motherfucking Beverly Hillbillies, or whoever the fuck. Your job is to make a motherfucker laugh, no matter who they are.
Absolutely. That's
your job.
Go to work.
And that's why I can't stand comics to be like, fuck y'all, that was funny. No, bitch, it wasn't. Because if it was, they'd be laughing.
The crowd don't lie.
No, the crowd don't lie.
Now I have here's another question for you. What would you say now to the young Luenell? What advice would you give if you could go back and talk to yourself 20 years ago? What advice would you give to the young Luenell now, to the wise Luenell?
Put the cocaine down first, and don't steal that money. That would be my advice.
That would be good. Put the cocaine down and don't steal that money.
Don't steal that money.
Them people know you did it.
Yeah, and you're gonna go to jail for 4 months and 18 days in Twin Towers Correctional Facility, Cesar Chavez Boulevard, downtown Los Angeles, California.
That's what's going on.
536-302, no booking number. Campbell, roll up your property.
That's what happens when you make a bad decision.
That's what happens.
Now, how about this though? When you made the bad decision, what were you able to do to say, this was what this is, and get back to your dream?
Well, I still fucked up after I got out of jail, but the one thing that I did do that I think was very prophetic, when you get released from jail, you get released back into the clothes you was arrested in.
Okay.
And when I was arrested at my home in the Bay Area. They extradited me back here to Long Beach, to LA and put me in jail. So I had on a pajama top and some overalls and a robe. That's what I was arrested in. That's also what I was released in.
Whoa.
So I was downtown LA, like in the jewelry district, waiting on the bus in a robe, looking like I belonged there. Looking like I belong right down there.
You got out of jail and looked like you was home.
Here I am. Now I live on the street. I didn't have no money. The bus driver let me ride to Long Beach where my girlfriend met me. The next day, she bought me a sweatsuit. Before I went home, I went to the Comedy Store, and it was Fat Tuesday.
No way.
I said, Guy, because everybody knew I'd been in jail. Comedy community knows every motherfucking thing. So everybody knew I was in jail. I was like, Guy. And he was like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. I said, bro, you got to let me go up. I got some shit I got to get off my mind. Now, this isn't included in the Fat Tuesday documentary, but they did film this story. It may be shown at another time. So Guy introduced me. I went on stage. I told him about what had happened to me for the last 4 fucking months. I said, I'm traumatized. I can't eat no more apples as long as I fucking live, because when you go to county jail, every day they give you a fucking punk bitch-ass apple in your mystery meat motherfucking sandwich lunch. Okay? I said, I'll never eat a fucking, somebody give me an apple, I'm gonna throw it at somebody. And I just told what had happened to me about the strip searches and the bitches looking in your ass and all this shit, because I went through all this shit.
Right.
And, I knew it was time to go, because there was a bitch that came in there that looked like Snoop. And I wanted to sit next to the bitch. I said, it's time for me to go. This motherfucker.
She said a girl that looked like Snoop.
She looked like Snoop Dogg.
It was a girl.
She had braids. Yeah, tall, lanky bitch. Looked like Snoop. I'm telling you. The bitch looked like Snoop.
And so
I was like, hi? So I knew the Lord let me out after that. He was like, no.
You got to get out of there. So you get out of jail. You go to the Comedy Store. You get back to your...
Get a standing ovation, by the way.
And kill, obviously.
Yeah, standing ovation. Fresh out. Before I could even
fresh
go home
out of jail.
Before I could even go home and see the baby I hadn't seen in 4 months, I had to purge myself on that stage.
Do you understand what you just said?
Yeah.
You had to come to the church. The stage is the church for us. I never forget when I lost my brother that same night. I had to perform. And I could not understand how I was able to do it. I was traumatized, and it was the pain of losing my brother was so sudden. And it was literally like my brain...
Like, were you on automatic, like on remote control?
I can't explain it to you. You just reminded me. It was like one of those moments in my life where I was just like, it was an outer body experience. It was almost like all my trauma was sitting here, but my physicality and my intellect was still moving like a robot or something.
Yeah.
But when I got on stage, right, I had one of the best performances of my life. Of my life.
Is that crazy?
When I was the saddest.
Isn't that crazy?
It's unbelievable. One of the most traumatic moments of my life, I had the most outstanding performance. And I never forget, at the end of that show, there was a lady who brought her mom up in a wheelchair. And she said, Mr. Bellamy, can you take a picture with my mom? My mom hasn't been out the house in 2 years. And it's her birthday. And she hasn't been outside since my dad passed, and my mom, we haven't seen our mama laugh in 2 years. And that's when I
think
knew.
I saw her on my 600-pound life.
I don't know who it was.
No,
but you know what I'm saying.
Know,
and the lady said, she started crying. She said, Mr. Bellamy, you mean so much to us because we needed to laugh. And I was like, well, then it's bigger than us.
It's really a ministry.
It's a ministry.
If you're really doing it right. And it is a gift because we can do it at will whenever. I can make anybody laugh.
Right.
Anybody.
Absolutely.
And the Bible says that laughter doth the soul good like medicine. I've had so many people inbox me, especially during quarantine, and shortly after, like you got me, I started this YouTube show, Hey Luenell on YouTube. 62 episodes are up, and I started before George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. So my show literally went from happy, Luenell, quirky into this dark racial place when we were doing all that stuff. And then I realized I can't go as dark as I'm slipping because they're looking for me to pull them out of the darkness that they're in.
Absolutely.
So then I had to come back up and start being cheery again. And that's all documented on YouTube. And people wrote me and like, you got me through the quarantine. You know, I look forward to seeing your show every Wednesday, and I'm a lunatic for life. And, you know, and that right there, that's bigger than a pool or a view or anything like that, to know that you moved somebody like that, just little us.
Yeah,
little
man.
us.
Hey, listen, man, we just don't know our full impact or our potential until we really, really hear it. Because a lot of times when we tell jokes, we realize, you know, or we don't realize, like, okay, the laughter is one aspect of it, but the change is something else, because we have messages that are in our jokes too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're doing it right.
If you're doing it right, there's some lessons in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I did a showcase in Montreal, and George Wallace was the host. He said, "Mr. Bellamy, how funny do you think you are?" I said, "Sir, I am hilarious." He said, "You ain't shit." He said, "Come see me in 25 years. I bet you be hilarious." And so
George Wallace said
George
that?
said that to me, and I said, "Why do you say that?" He said, "Because you ain't lived yet." He said, "You're gonna live, you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, you're gonna go through some setbacks, and all your jokes is gonna get rich from your life." Yeah. And I was like, "Dad, that's kind of deep." And so about 2 weeks ago, I was in Atlanta, and he did a spot with me. He said, "What'd I tell you?" And he literally seen me get better over time and be better, because life, I've experienced so much. If there's an experience that you feel made you for the better, even if it was tough, outside of the jail thing, what do you think was an experience that made you a better comedian and a person?
Being able to hang out with Paul Mooney. Being able to be his friend from Oakland, being able to know his people, being able to have him give gifts to my daughter, being able to open for him on the road, being able to be by his side as he was getting older and, you know, things were getting more difficult, being able to cover for him, being able to listen to him and decipher his messages, and to be at live recordings of his albums in San Francisco at the Punchline and stuff like that. And just being his friend, being Paul Mooney's friend.
He was one of the guys that to me is one of those unsung, sort of like.
Can I share something real quick?
Yeah.
I have a wedgie in my coochie right now.
You do?
Do you know you can get a wedgie in your coochie?
No, I
if your
didn't.
lips are long enough. I gotta change. I gotta straighten out my underwear.
Get your stuff
Go ahead,
together.
Don't
Okay,
look.
I'm not gonna look right now. Okay, cool. All right. You know, just go and get it out. Get it out.
Oh my
Get it
God,
out.
okay.
I have never had this on a show.
You had it on. I had a coochie
Have you
wedgie.
ever seen
Yo, it
this
was
on a podcast?
Mad
that
uncomfortable.
The coochie get twisted.
Well, you probably ain't had a bitch with pussy big as mine on your show. Neither. It's a gift and a curse.
No wonder you
Blessing
sit with
and
your
curse.
legs open.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can't
okay.
close them, mother.
Anyway, do you understand we on the show?
Anyway, you were talking about.
All right, I was trying to say that
I'm
one
better
of the
now.
things you mentioned, Paul Mooney, who is one of my heroes. And I had the pleasure when I first started doing stand up. I met him at a club in Jersey, and he was doing like a weekend. I go up to Paul Mooney. I'm brand new. I said, I'm talking like this, "Mr. Mooney, I'm Bill Bellamy. I'm from New Jersey. I'm a new comic. I've only been doing this like 3 or 4 years." I said, "Sir," and I said, "What advice do you give to a new comic?" He said, "Mr. Bellamy, let me ask you a question. Do you love it? If you are not willing to eat, shit, drink this game, then get away from me."
That's Mooney.
That is exactly what he said, just
That's
like
perfect.
that.
And it's true.
And it's true.
And it's true.
You got to go all out. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to think about it. You got to be it. And
Dude,
I want to give him his flowers.
Your kid is home sick with a fever. You got a show. Do you stay home with the kid, Or do you go do the show? You go do the show. That's how you go buy the medicine for the kid if you ain't got no money.
Facts. Now,
Somebody, the baby be all right because God had his hands on, on the children.
God gonna bring the fever there.
God got his hands on the children.
Oh my God.
So I hope your ass get back. That's what the first.
So Luenell, let me ask this question. Your top 5 females ever.
Females?
I wonder, because they always talk about the guys. Who's your top 5 females ever? Give me your Mount Rushmore. All girls. Let's go.
LaWanda Page.
Bam.
Roseanne Barr.
Bam.
Joan Rivers.
Ooh.
Well, okay. Everybody always throws moms in the pot. And I do appreciate her being the first female comic that I ever saw because I saw her before.
Mom, Miss Mabley.
But, I... Okay.
So Mom's Mabley, and then one more.
And then me.
Now here we go.
Okay,
I got. Because I was wondering.
My hands are getting sweaty now.
Don't be nervous. Just top 5 females. You got. I don't know how you gonna get by Carol Burnett.
I almost said Carol Burnett instead of me, but then I said me. But I almost said Carol Burnett. I could see her. I was looking right at her.
Carol Burnett, top 5 for me.
But then you said, okay, because
I was trying to figure out actors.
But then you said comedic actress, that thing.
Lucille Ball.
Of course. I got all my facial expressions.
And then I'm going to go black from there. But Lucille Ball is probably one of the funniest women I ever seen as a child.
And I just got to watching Being the Ricardos.
Listen, Lucy was outside the box.
Ooh.
Lucy was the first, boss. She was the first Jim Carrey, for a female.
Yeah, doing the
physical
stick.
comedy. She was everywhere. She was eating the chocolates coming off the thing, stuffing them in her purse. Anyway, okay, so I got Lucy, Carol Burnett. I have Paula.
Poundstone?
No. Warfield.
Really?
Marsha Warfield.
Oh, Marsha. Okay, Marsha. Marsha, I love. Just did a movie
Marsha
with her.
Warfield.
Yep.
Woo,
Groundbreaker, because she was at them roasts with Richard Pryor.
What is the lady? I'm gonna go back. She did Def Jam with us. And she's your girl. She took off her wig. Laura Hayes. People don't never get Laura but I thought Laura had this thing that was kind of cool.
Yeah, cool gangster.
Cool, yeah,
cool gangster. That's at Oakland.
I'm going old school, and you got to give me her name. She had the light eyes and the low haircut, real pretty.
Yvette.
She passed away, but
Yvette.
Yvette, what's her last name?
Wilson.
Not Yvette Wilson. Not Yvette Wilson. She came up with remember my man Rondell?
Oh damn.
Back in the day when I Comedy Act Theater, I'm going off topic. God,
you're going to the Comedy Act way back.
I'm talking about she was one of those women that was kind of raw, like Rodney. She was,
Rodney Winfield.
Rodney Whitfield. She was right in the pocket with him and that crash.
Not Jed. Jed is not dead. Jetta Jones, not dead.
Not Jetta Jones.
And not Myra. Myra's not dead.
So Myra.
Myra J?
It's Myra J, right?
Myra J that used to hang out with Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, Myra.
You don't remember Myra?
Yeah, Myra's fucking got her name on the wall the same day we did.
Okay, thank you. That's my top 5.
She's not dead though.
And no, she's not dead. She's still here. Myra, I'm sorry. And then you, Luenell. But I wanted to mix it up because I was just thinking about this. Now, we have $1 billion question on this show.
Okay. Do you have $1 billion?
Since it's top billion.
Do you have $1 billion?
Yeah, we got $1 billion.
Okay.
But because it's $1 billion question.
All right.
All right, you ready? $1 billion question. Luenell, this is your fantasy. You can have 2 of the hottest black men that you've always had a crush in, want to do a movie with, and you are all in bed. Who would those 2 actors be? Oh, people.
Well,
$1 billion question.
I already have one.
Okay.
But I heard that he was a real asshole.
Okay.
But I hate that because I love him.
Okay.
That's Delroy Lindo.
Delroy.
Oh shit.
Oh, there's something about Delroy.
That motherfucker. He looked mean. I like that.
He do look like he'll choke you.
He looked like
he look like
he would choke you out. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're here for it. And who's the other guy? Gary
Dourdan.
Gary Dourdan. Okay, wait a minute. So you got
and Blair. I got
you're going for a threesome.
No, I have the threesome, and I
Okay,
got
so you want Blair? Okay, so you got
But
Blair.
I'm actively after Blair.
You walking him down.
Yeah, because Blair, look, he was married to that beautiful woman for like 26 years. They spent 2 years in the house of Corona. They get a divorce.
Okay.
I feel like it's my time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fellas, I hope y'all heard Luenell got you on her hit list. Delroy, choker.
Yes.
She want to be choked.
Gary Dourdan.
Whatever you want to do, you put the little hazel eyes on her. She gonna black out, and then Blair can just walk in there with a white beater on, and it's over.
Oh my God! And he was so mean and so shitty in Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And he was smacking that Tyler Perry movie. He was smacking this girl around and everything. He was just hard, but broke my heart. At the same time, my panties were dripping. Dripping wet.
Okay. Luenell, you have a brand new show that you're a part of. I don't know what I'm going to do. I never know what you're going to say. Tell us about your role on Hacks.
I'm so proud to be affiliated with this show because I don't always get the big shit. You know, I mean, I'm riding high mediocre very well.
Right, but now you want something. You want one.
Right. So Hacks comes on HBO Max.
Absolutely.
Jean Smart from Designing Women and other great projects is the star. It's so inclusive and yet diverse. There's everything in this show, sexually and racially and gender, and they don't often write shows for older women in this town, but this is the writers on this show. I have to bow down because I shot my episodes and then I wasn't around for the shooting of the others.
Right.
Then when the show aired, started streaming, I started watching it. I'm on the motherfucking show and I'm at home going, oh my God, like it's full of humor and suspense and nervousness and angst and love and tenderness and bitterness, and hey, it's got everything.
Hey, well, that's a good look for you because you get an opportunity to play. And, that to me is one of the best things about being an actor, when you can finally get a role where you can show all your colors. You know what I'm saying?
But most of the time, it's really just me. They just want me to be me. Like, my partner in crime on the show Hacks is Angela Gibbs.
Okay.
The great Molly Gibbs' daughter. Angela Gibbs and I have worked together on Think Like a Man 1, Think Like a Man 2, Black Jesus, all kind of shit.
Right.
And we're really, really good friends in real life.
So it's natural chemistry.
They didn't know that we even knew each other when they cast us. Wow. And we didn't know that we were working together until we got the call sheet.
Oh, it's over.
And then it was perfect.
So, because in your improvisation stuff, like you did, like even in the interview, the stuff you say, you can't write that?
Well, that's what makes a great interview. You can have a million motherfuckers on here, but it'll never be great. It'll just be all right.
No! You gonna have women coming on my show adjusting their coochie? It's just gonna be...
I originated.
I didn't know you can adjust your coochie.
I'm the Little Richard of coochie wedgies.
Oh my God! I do not know what I'm gonna do with you.
But see, that's the charm.
Yes.
The people need to know. Like, you can't just be funny like I said, you got to be consistent. You
Absolutely.
can't get paid because you had a fucking bad day. Your job, if you're a professional comedian, is to be funny at 8 o'clock tomorrow night and the night after that and the night after that and every motherfucking night. Nobody wants to see you fucking bomb.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to do that either. And then you go crying. I know somebody just got booed off stage, cried like a bitch. I know all about it too when we get up here. Right. But anyway, you have to be consistent.
Right.
And if you're going to do these interviews, make them fucking count,
Absolutely.
Be honest, but then, throw some shit in there that'll make a person, there's a lot of truckers that listen to these podcasts.
Absolutely. A lot of people. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, and they're out there on the road or whatever, and they don't want to fall asleep because they're fucking boring. They want to, did you understand?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, and they want to listen to something that's going to keep them laughing and moving down the road.
Yeah, man. I got a question that I want to pose to you, because I'm very much an advocate for women in comedy.
You are.
And I love the girls trying to, come up and get in. I just love the women that want to be funny and do this thing. What advice would you give to a young comic, a girl that might listen to this podcast and be inspired by your interview and want to be a comedian?
I think that
first, fix your coochie.
my coochie's fine.
Make sure
that
it
was
ain't
my throat. I had something in my throat. So,
okay.
I think that you shouldn't do comedy unless you feel like you would die if you don't do it. Ooh. I feel like I would die if I couldn't do it. Obviously, if I went to stage before I went to my young daughter.
Right.
I feel like you can be taught to sing, but you can't be taught to sing. And if you want to be a good comic, you can go to comedy classes and you can become a pretty good comic. But if you want to be great, you have to have a fire inside of you that will allow you to maybe have to sleep in a car at Santa Monica Beach, that would allow you to maybe eat out of the 7-Eleven, the dollar hot dogs for maybe 2 months. You have to be able to do whatever the fuck it takes. And also, every time you go to a comedy club, you don't have to try to get on stage. Sit and watch the motherfucking show. See what kind of room it is. See what the headliner did in there, what works in that room, what don't work in that room, and observe and watch and say, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna never do that. You know, you don't have to be a mic whore and grab the mic every motherfucking place you go in. And what blows my mind is that people will come, young people that are trying to get on stage will come, then leave to go do some more rooms, but they won't even watch the headliner. Now, you got the opportunity to see a motherfucker right in front of you. You got class going on right in front of you, but they so busy trying to go get stage time. You know, New York, how you can hit 4, 5 clubs in a night.
Yeah.
They so busy trying to go get stage time. Like, why would you leave a room? Why would you leave the cellar if David Attell is about to come on stage?
Right.
Why would you leave, you know, the Atlanta Comedy Theater when Damon Wayans is about to come on stage?
You got to. I got to stay.
That?
I got to stay. I'm sorry.
I
literally was. I did a set in New York, and it was one of those unbelievable nights.
Mm-hmm.
I went into the cellar, and I ran into Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into Godfrey.
For sure.
I ran into Aziz.
Yes.
We were all performing at one time. What are the odds?
Yeah.
We all went on. We all watched each other. We all, tagged each other and had fun like it was like old school.
And then the black comics need to watch and see what the Latin comics are doing.
Yeah.
And they need to see what the Persian comics are doing.
Correct.
And they need to see what the gay comics are talking about. Because it's all comedy. And you need to know what's out there. Just when you think you're the biggest shit in the world, there's somebody down in Mississippi that could mop the floor with your ass. You know, there's people that we don't know, and they come up out of nowhere, and you're like, what
funny
the fuck?
as hell.
That's right. So
Dude, I remember
anytime you start thinking,
I remember the first time I saw Bernie Mac, I was like, I gotta get funny. I was like, I gotta get on another level with this funny, because that Bernie Mac was something else.
And Bernie had that thing, that relatable everyman thing.
Absolutely.
You know, he wasn't like Steve. Steve is at a place where he's like, he's not as relatable as like a Bernie. I think Bernie would, even if he had Steve's wealth, would be more relatable.
Yeah.
You know, Steve don't want to be bothered.
Bernie said, it don't make no motherfucking sense. Before we get out of here, Luenell, I want to personally thank you for coming to Top Billing, because you are top billing. You are at the table. You earned it. You here. We respect it and we love it. This part of a show we call All Facts.
All facts.
All facts.
I'm ready.
All facts. And when I ask you a question, you just got to give it to me all facts.
Okay.
You ready? All right. The question is, if there was anybody's career that you admire and that you would want to be yours to be similar, who would it be and why?
Female or male?
Whatever choice you want.
Well, that's I have to give 2-part answer to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, that would be Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
And probably I'm gonna have to do a Cat Williams Chappelle double Dutch thing here, because I love that Cat has a heart that don't nobody really know about. And, you know, I've always been like an underdog. And he took me on tour with him 15 years ago. You know, he taught me about diamonds. He taught me about the, you know, G6 private plane. I'd never been on one before. For him to reach back and get me out of the blue, literally, I could never discount that.
Ever.
And then Chappelle befriending me when I didn't even think he knew who the fuck I was. But me and Bill flew down to New York.
Me, you and Dave?
Me and Bill, my manager,
Bill. I
flew
thought you
to New York
okay.
when Eddie performed live at Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
And there was all kinds of people backstage, as you can imagine. And Chappelle was back there, and when he seen me, he said, the queen is here. And he hugged me, and we took pictures, and I was like, what the fuck?
Why you don't think people know who you are?
I'm not walking around thinking that every motherfucker, not the big boys, you know, like I just did Adam Carolla's podcast.
Right.
What the fuck would I think Adam Carolla would know who the fuck I was for?
Luenell, if you don't stop this shit.
Bro, I'll be flabbergasted.
But it's absolutely charming, though, that you still you still have the innocence of it. I like that, though. You ain't taking nothing for granted. You ain't taking nothing for granted.
Is it doing anything for you, Bill?
Yeah, it's making me warm.
Feel some type
I
of
feel
way?
tingly.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be right back out of these special messages.
Hey, I want to thank Luenell personally for stopping by Top Billing. It's been a blast. This incredible interview. You can see it, listen on all the platforms. I'm Bill Bellamy. We catch you on the next episode
And
of Top
thank you.
Billing.
Follow me on Instagram
Yeah.
at Luenell, at Luenell. Thank you for letting me be your guest.
Let's go, big,
Amen.
sexy, and fix your draws, man.
Oh my God, these bitches.
What's up?